Okay, y'all, let's talk about a mistake that I see way too often. Y'all, the CEOs that I've encountered, that I've spoken with, that I am in relationships with, like cool with, things of that nature. And when I see CEOs posting job descriptions and things of that nature, I see that usually they're looking for an executive assistant who can do one to three things, right? They're looking for somebody who can be in the inbox all day, who can be in their calendar all day, or somebody who they can just send things to and then move on, right? But what I come to find out is that these CEOs, they actually need a whole lot more, right? And so a lot of CEOs believe an executive assistant, like I said, is just here to book meetings, to send calendar invites, and sure, y'all, that is part of the job. But if that's all that your executive assistant is doing, or if that's all the job description encompasses, then you're not necessarily using your executive assistant effectively, and you're not allowing them to do what they should be doing as it relates to your benefits, right? And so what I mean by that is a top tier executive assistants, they're not just moving appointments around all day. They're not just looking at your inbox and responding to emails and setting up autoresponders and things of that nature. Absolutely not. Their job is to protect your time. And that means they're going to understand and know what deserves your attention and what doesn't deserve your attention. Okay. And so let's get over into misconception number 2. And this misconception is that an EA is a glorified email manager. So if you think your executive assistant's only job is to organize your inbox and get you to inbox zero, I need you to think a little bit more, okay? Because a great executive assistant, they're going to handle communication like a strategic gatekeeper, okay? And so they're managing your follow-ups, they're catching potential fires before they spread. They're seeing like, oh my goodness, there's a deadline coming up. There's an email that wasn't read, or there was an important email that was sent to spam, not because of anything that you did or anything that they did. Well, it was because how the email systems work, right? Some things go to spam, but they're checking your spam. They're not just deleting all in your spam inbox. They're making sure they're going through the emails so nothing is missing, nothing is lacking. And so they're catching the fires or potential fires before they begin to spread. And they're actually going to keep you from drowning in the wrong messages. Like, if you're like, man, I'm overwhelmed, my inbox is chaotic, and there's so much going on, there's so many people pulling from me, I'm getting messages here, messages here, messages here. Listen, I get it. Your EA is here to help you streamline that process. They can set up rules and automations within your email system to make sure that only the emails that you need to lay eyes on are being sent to you. Like, you never have to look at another email unless you have to respond, right? Unless it needs your input. That is what your executive assistant should be doing. All right. And so they're not just answering emails, they're making sure the right conversations happen, right? That way your focus can stay where it needs to be. And then misconception number 3, a EA is just here to follow directions and do everything you tell them to do, how you want them to do it, and all of the things. If you're hiring an executive assistant who only waits for instructions, you're doing it wrong, okay? A great executive assistant, they're not just taking the tasks that you give them every day. They're also anticipating the needs that you have. They're making sure that, yeah, it's something that you can do yourself, but if they can do it, they're taking it off your plate even before they ask you about it. So they're anticipating your needs. They're making sure you're not doing the work because you can do it, and they're making sure that you're doing the work because you got to do it, like you need to do it. Also, they're not just taking tasks from you, they're solving problems. Your executive assistant should be solving problems before they reach you. And so if you have a team already, your executive assistant should be the first point of contact before your team is just reaching out to you. That way, if it's something that the executive assistant can handle, they're taking over that situation. So you don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to get stressed out about it. You don't have to get overwhelmed about it. You don't have to get frustrated about it. Your executive assistant should have already handled it if it's something that they could do. Also, your executive assistant is supposed to keep things running without constant input. Like, they're not constantly checking in with you all day, every day, because then who's getting any work done? They need to be able to effectively and efficiently do the things that's on their plate while also supporting you effectively and efficiently so that you can do the things that's on your plate. Okay. And so I need y'all to answer this question. Do you want an assistant who waits, or do you want an assistant who thinks ahead? Because a lot of times the job descriptions are written as if you want someone who is waiting for you to give them the next step, who's waiting for, and what you will find is when you're getting someone who is waiting for you to make the next move, for you to make the first move, then you're going to be like, well, I thought I was hiring an executive assistant so I could focus more on the things that I need to focus more on. I thought I was hiring an executive assistant who could actually put in the work. But it seemed like I'm constantly having to tell them what to do. I'm constantly having to show them how to do it, when to do it. I'm constantly having to check in and follow up to make sure they did it. Like, this is where we have to go beyond people who are responding to the job descriptions, who are filling in applications, and whose budget is low, and who's like, oh yeah, I do virtual assistants. Oh yeah, they're desperate for their first client, right? We have to go beyond just hiring anybody to making sure people are a good fit. Like, you can hire someone whose personality is like an ideal match for you, but if they don't allow you to maximize your time, scale your impact, and increase your revenue, then they're just a friend. They're not an executive assistant. They're somebody you should be kicking it with on the weekends. Okay. And so you got to ask yourself, which one do I want? Do I want somebody who's waiting for me to assign them things and I'm okay with training them on every single thing and I'm okay with following up with them to make sure they completed the work? Or do I need someone who's going to think ahead so I'm not logging into my business every day? I'm not checking my emails every day. They're telling me exactly what I need to do, what decisions need to be made, and then I'm doing that. Okay. So here's the bottom line, y'all. The bottom line is you do not need someone who just follow orders. That's not what your executive assistant is here for. You need someone who is going to think 3 steps ahead. You're on Monday, they're already in Tuesday. Okay. You need someone who is going to protect your time. I know there's some CEOs who's like, well, I love my business. My business is my baby. I'm here 24/7. You need a VA who is like, you won't be here 24/7 if you're burnt out and you got to shut your business down because you wouldn't go drink some water, because you wouldn't go take a bathroom break, because you wouldn't take the weekends off, because you didn't take care of your body, take care of your health, right? And so you need somebody who's going to be like, when the last time you drank some water? Did you eat today? Like, it's 4:30. Have you eaten today? It's 12:15. Did you go take a lunch break? Okay. And so you need someone who's not only protecting your time, but they're protecting your mental health. They understand the importance of like working hard in business, but they also understand the importance of balance, harmony, integrating all the things together, right? And you need someone who's going to make sure that you're focused on the things that's growing your business, not the things that are urgent, not the things that are important, but can be handled or given to somebody else to do it. Like the things that only you can do, your strength areas. You want someone who can make sure that you're working in your zone of genius. Okay. And so that's it. That's y'all. If you're serious about hiring the right kind of executive assistant, one who actually is going to make a difference in your business and not one who you're going to be working with for the first 30 days, the first 90 days, and you're like, this not going to work, right? Let's just save time. Let's save money. Let's save energy, and let's hire the right kind of executive assistants off the bat. And this is someone who's actually going to make a difference, someone who is going to actually support you, not only in business, but even in your personal life, even in your mental health, your physical health, because they're making sure that all of your holistic needs are met so that you can continue to scale, so that you can continue to make impact, so you can continue to serve the people who you're called to serve. All right. And so that's it. That's all, y'all. If you're looking for an executive assistant who you can support, go to my website at www.theempireeffectagency.com. And I would love to share more with you about my executive assistant services and how I can support you to save your time, scale your impact, and maximize and increase your revenue. I'll see you in the next video.